Maymory is a community event in Geometry Dash created by AON where players are encouraged to beat Maymory levels, a genre considered quite overlooked during the month of May. This year I chose to join in by completing some easy and medium memory demons to dip my toes into this level style. I'm pretty inexperienced with memory levels, so I will admit the majority of these levels are levels AON recommended for this video. With no further delay, let's get straight to the main. The first level I beat, fittingly, was called Maymory. From what I could tell from the description, it seemed to be made as an introductory level to memory for new players. I spent about 45 minutes in practice mode, which was more than I was expecting for an EDM, but it makes sense to use to spend more time than normal in memory. I think a lot of that time is due to the mini wave part, just struggled to learn, especially the end, which was quite skill based. The most satisfying part of memory levels for me is spending all that time in practice and then beating it normal, and just a few mini wave deaths before my completion. Next up is Dimension Machine. This level is an older memory level, so its effects were simpler, aside from the incredibly intimidating cube maze that I spent about 80% of my time in practice on. That was the only part I had to heavily practice, but everything else only requiring a couple of full level practice ones. There's also a cheeky secret array around 80% which I think is nice short. Additionally, something I've noticed is that memory levels are way more tiring to beat than standard levels for me. I can't beat multiple easy demon memory levels in 1 second like I can skill levels. My third completion was Helpless, another old memory level. Personally, I didn't like this quite as much as Dimension Machine because the fakes weren't quite as interesting, mainly just in the key parts. Especially around the middle, the UFO ship and ball parts are very straightforward and cerebral gameplay. It's quite common for older memory levels to have random ordinary gameplay, which I'm not a big fan of, at least in less time to practice for me. After that I beat Common Sense, which was a bit of an odd one. It's a self-described half memory level, and the only level I was able to practice ordinarily. With what I said about Helpless, you probably assume I wasn't a big fan of this, but every skill part was followed by a memory section, making all the parts complement each other surprisingly well. In general, it felt more like a lonely skill demon than the full memory level, and had my shortest practice time by a long shot. But because of that, would I consider it a particularly fitting level for Maymory? Not really, but it's a pretty unique level I'd recommend checking out. I also beat 2 medium demons for this video, starting with Cyber action. This level is inspired by the web browser Cat Mario game, which is essentially a troll version of the original Super Mario Bros. I was a little concerned about the fact that this was a troll level, but I practiced each in-game level individually, like with every level before. I wouldn't have said this was a medium demon, but I spent about as much time with this as Helpless. As a pretty big Nintendo Mario fan, this level stood out to me as probably my favourite of this year's Maymory completions. My last memory level today was Demon Dawn. Originally I was a little intimidated for my first practice run, and combined with the medium demon tag, I was expecting this level to take the longest so far by quite a bit. But Demon Dawn only roughly took me the same amount of time as everything else so far, surprisingly. Something I noticed was the 2 medium demons I beat were just as difficult as the easy demons, maybe because they were a bit older, so considered harder during their final relevancy. So, with my first major exposure in memory levels out of the way, what was my opinion on Maymory? Well, mostly positive, but I know next year how I'll go about it differently. I wasn't a huge fan of the old style memory levels because a lot of the fakes were repetitive, unoriginal, and the majority of levels blended into one. In fact, looking at the list I made, 2 of the levels I haven't beaten today. One of them I'm beating in the next video, but the other level was another uninteresting, generic odd memory level that I gave up on after constant boredom in practice. However, I enjoyed the newer memory levels with refreshing visuals, something I needed more than usual when sometimes spent over an hour on a single level. Maybe it's something I think I'll do again in 2025, but I'll try to only beat 1 level with each visual style. For example, 1 old style level like Dimension Machine, 1 1.9 level like Demon Dawn, 1 modern level like Maymory, and there's the other side one action level that I'll beat for sure.